Hi everyone. Welcome to Daily Recaps. Today, I am going to explain a movie called Long Story Short. Hope you like it. Enjoy the video and take care. The movie begins at a New Year's Eve party. The protagonist is named Teddy, a guy who doesn't value time and is a massive procrastinator. When he arrives at the party, the countdown to the new year has already begun. At 12 o'clock, he sees his girlfriend on the other end of the line and kisses her. Teddy soon realizes, however, that he is kissing a stranger who is dressed identically to his girlfriend. He quickly retracts his hand and apologizes to the lady, who graciously accepts his genuine blunder. Out of embarrassment, he buys her a drink which she happily accepts. The woman introduces herself as Lynn. As they two talk, Teddy begins to cough and shake violently. It turns out that she had eaten something with nuts before Teddy kissed her, which triggered his allergy. She brings him to the side and tries to calm him down. Right then, Teddy's girlfriend Becca approaches them and sees that he is having an allergic reaction. They get an EpiPen from somewhere and save Teddy. After that incident, Teddy and Lynn start to date. They are a happy couple for the next 4 years, but Teddy, being the procrastinator that he is, proposes to her only after they have been together for 5 years. Following the proposal, the couple pays a visit to Teddy's father's grave. While an elderly lady listens from afar, they tell him about the proposal. When Lynn leaves Teddy for some time, the old woman congratulates him. She asks him when the wedding is and Teddy replies he hasn't thought about it yet. The woman senses his carelessness with time and questions what he would do if a year went by in a minute and he didn't have enough time to live his life. Her question makes Teddy uncomfortable, but the woman doesn't stop there. She informs him that she has the ideal wedding present for him. Lynn reappears at that point and greets the woman. The woman mentions to Teddy that their wedding is in 2 weeks as they converse. Teddy goes along with the lie because Lynn gets excited and hugs him. They marry 2 weeks after the incident. Teddy's best friend Sam gives a speech at their wedding about their friendship and makes jokes about his time management habits. The couple is beyond happy when they return to their newly bought home. They plan to unbox their belongings and start decoration from the next day. For a few minutes, Lynn goes into the bathroom to change and Teddy goes through their wedding presents. One of them is a tiny house plant which they agree to name Groot. But the one that catches Teddy's eye is a box that says do not open for 10 years. He opens the box and sees a tin can inside. The can also has something inside it which Teddy plans to open with a can opener. However, Lynn comes out of the bathroom, so he gets distracted. The night comes to an end, and Teddy is surprised to find his bedroom fully decorated when he wakes up the next morning. He makes a joke about Lynn doing everything before breakfast, but things get weirder when he walks out of the room and into their fully decorated house. The houseplant Groot has grown overnight as well. Confused, he turns around to see a pregnant Lynn standing behind him. Teddy laughs thinking that it is a prank, but little does he know, he has time traveled a year into the future. Teddy inspects her belly and registers that she is actually pregnant. He questions what is going on because they got married just yesterday, but Lynn thinks he is just playing with her. She asks for her 1-year anniversary present, which makes Teddy believe he might have Alzheimer's. Lynn brushes him aside and hands him his gift. Lynn asks Teddy to lie down for a while because he is still perplexed. Things around him begin to fade as he lies in bed. A year passes in the blink of an eye. Teddy wakes up and comes face to face with Lynn, who is clearly not pregnant. He laughs, thinking he just had a bad dream, but a baby's cry can be heard from the other room as they converse. Teddy looks around and notices a slew of photos of him and Lynn that he doesn't recall taking. He's even more taken aback after seeing Tallulah, their daughter. He holds her for the first time and feels magical. After arguing about Tallulah's name, he tells Lynn he might have traveled through time, but she just laughs it off. Teddy then inquires about the past year only to find out that he has been away from home for work half of the time. Then, Lynn asks him to quit his job and pursue photography, which he actually wants to do in life. Teddy is surprised that he hasn't started photography even after 2 years of marriage. Moreover, he never took Lynn on a honeymoon because of his habit of procrastination. Teddy feels guilty for all this, so he calls his friend Sam and asks him to come to his house the same day next year with an anniversary present. Following that, he places an orange in Groot's spot to see if he will actually time travel. Time passes once more, and they are approaching their 3rd wedding anniversary. Groot has grown exponentially larger as the orange has rotted and dried. Sam emerges from his house perplexed by a phone reminder. Teddy gives him a hug and asks for the anniversary gift, but Sam has brought a little pony thinking that he meant a nursery present. Teddy explains everything that is going on to Sam, but he doesn't believe him. Upon insisting, Sam associates the incident to the movie Groundhog Day and asks Teddy to make his life perfect in order to end the loop. Teddy asks him to set a reminder for the same day next year and leaves. He meets little Tallulah at home and is irritated that Daddy was not her first word because of his work. Lynn claims he is rarely at home with her. Teddy also learns that he and Lynn are attending couples therapy for marital issues. He reads a letter from the current Teddy to Lynn, in which he advises her to give up her dream of becoming a writer. Lynn reads it as well and accuses him of being envious because he has never pursued a career in photography. Teddy is dissatisfied with himself after seeing how much he has changed over time. Another year passes by in the blink of an eye. He calls for Lynn, but she doesn't answer. Following that, Sam arrives at the house and informs Teddy that he and Lynn are in a trial separation, meaning they have decided to spend time away from each other for a while. He quickly calls Lynn and wishes her a happy anniversary, trying to get his life back together and end the time travel, but she refuses to meet him when he invites her. Teddy opens the fridge to get a drink, and the time changes again. This time, he walks to the other room and kisses a woman thinking she is Lynn, but it turns out to be his ex-girlfriend Becca. She informs him that they have been dating for several months, and that Lynn and he are still on a trial separation. Becca was previously married but has since divorced. Lynn knocks on the door as Teddy tries to get her out of the house. Becca is hidden in the balcony, and Lynn is let in. She tells him that she misses him and that they should reconcile their differences. Teddy is overjoyed to hear this and kisses her, but she notices Becca's underwear on the couch and turns away. Teddy has been seeing someone else, and she has filed for divorce. Teddy tries to calm her down, but Lynn storms out. After that, Becca sarcastically offers Teddy a divorce lawyer. Before making her leave, he asks her not to pick his phone calls or answer his texts if he tries to contact her again. When Teddy turns around, Becca is in the kitchen in different clothes. An entire year has passed again. He finds out that he and Lynn are still separated and Becca has moved in with him. Teddy quickly calls Sam and asks him to meet outside. Following that, he tells Becca that he is still in love with Lynn. Becca, too, tells him that she loves her ex-husband and that separating from him was the biggest mistake she's ever made. The two form an emotional bond and decide to call it quits on their relationship. A while later, Sam arrives in his sports car and picks Teddy up. As they talk, Teddy gets to know that Sam has been diagnosed with cancer, and there is very little chance of his survival. Teddy is left speechless and makes Sam promise he will be alive when he returns the next year. Before Teddy goes to meet Lynn in her new home, the two have an emotional conversation. Lynn inquires as to whether he signed the divorce papers. Teddy is surprised by the remark. He notices she has filed for divorce and refuses to sign the papers for the past year. He asks her to reconcile with him, but Lynn advises him to leave because he is with Becca. As she shuts the door behind him, the clock strikes 1 year later. Teddy falls into Tallulah's pool by accident, and Lynn's new boyfriend Patrick approaches him. He freaks out and starts insulting him, only to realize that Lynn is finally happy with a man. He is also informed that Lynn lost her wedding ring in the ocean. Seeing her enjoy life again, he signs the divorce papers and has an emotional breakdown in front of Patrick. To cheer Teddy up a little, Lynn allows him to take her dog for a walk. Teddy and the dog go to the beach where he sits thinking about life. A year passes in some seconds and Teddy is seen with a full beard. He is still on the beach with the dog when he notices a chocolate bar with nuts lying on the ground. He thinks of eating it to commit suicide but stops when a 7-year-old Tallulah calls him. She is happily making sandcastles behind him. Teddy is in shock to see his little girl all grown up. Talking to her gives him a reason to live. After the playdate, he returns her to Lynn. He and Lynn have a long and interesting conversation. Teddy remembers it's their anniversary and knocks on the door after she's gone inside. Right then, the time fast forwards again to a year later. Teddy's beard has vanished, and he now wears glasses. He calls Sam again because Lynn isn't at home, but to his surprise, the operator informs him that the phone number is no longer in service. Teddy quickly accesses his social media and discovers photos of them in the hospital while Sam was undergoing treatment for cancer. He eventually learns that Sam died within the last year. He visits Sam's grave, overcome with grief over his loss. While talking to the grave, the old woman from earlier approaches him. She tells him that she knows he has aged 10 years in the past hour. Teddy, in shock, questions her what is going on. The woman claims she gave him the power to live life in snapshots. She further explains that she was about to marry a man in her 20s when she met a stranger who gave her the same gift. She, too, saw her life in snapshots and as a result, didn't marry the man. Instead, she married the woman she loved. Still confused, Teddy calls the woman a lesbian wizard who has cast a curse on him. She explains that he can go back in time and live his life with the knowledge he has gained. Teddy remembers the tin can he got as a gift for his wedding. He quickly rushes to Lynn's and asks her if she still has it. Lynn brings the box out and tells Teddy that she and Patrick are no longer together. Patrick thought she was still in love with Teddy, she reveals. Teddy discovers what's inside the can and presents it to Lynn as a 10th anniversary gift. When Lynn opens it, she discovers her wedding band inside. Teddy then proposes to her once more, saying that they both love each other and that life is too short not to spend it with the person you care about. Lynn states that it is so much more complicated than that, but eventually agrees to marry him. Suddenly, the time changes to the day after Teddy's wedding. He wakes up to Lynn wishing him a happy first day as her husband. He hugs her tightly and rushes to book their honeymoon. Overjoyed with emotions, he calls his boss and quits his job, saying that he will be a photographer. He then calls Sam and demands that he go for a cancer screening every year on the same day, or he will be dragged to the hospital. He then runs to the magical can with an intention of giving it to Becca, who he knows needs it. The movie ends as Teddy tells Lynn that they can do everything they like in life right at that moment. That's all from the movie. Thanks for watching. If you really want more interesting videos like this, then hit like and subscribe to support the daily recaps. See you again. Take care.